Before we get to today's eye-opener, a little housekeeping. Chapter 2 for the audio-visual book, Evolution, will be out this Friday. Hopefully one or more of the characters from the story will be presenting it this week. Hopefully the story will garner enough attention for the chapters to be acted out instead of simply being read. So tell everyone you know to tune in and join Mike's Son's entertainment as the story progresses. Eye-opener. Ignore their intent. Pay attention to their outcomes. For as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. This is to say that regardless of what they say, the results of your leader's actions are what matter. For instance, every political leader, especially when they run for office on the national stage, claims they have the answer to creating a prosperous and strong economy. And they claim their intention is to do so for everyone. In the end, however, the rich get richer and the rest of us must fight for whatever is left of the ever-shrinking American pie. Sometimes they reveal the truth, like when Donald Trump brags about how a thriving stock market indicates a thriving economy. It's not that he's lying. It's one of the following. Either Trump is unaware of the fact most Americans don't have enough stock in anything to have enough of a positive impact on their lives, which is due to the fact that only 10 to 12% of the population owns 80 to 90% of all stocks, or Trump is unaware of how much the cost of everything has increased while the majority of wages have failed to compensate. You don't have to trust me. Just look at your stock portfolio and compare your income versus your wages to the income versus the wages of your parents. As for the former, your 3 or 4 shares in Microsoft and Tesla, GM or Ford are not going to see you through your golden years. Even if the price of the company for which you own those 3 or 4 stocks doubles or triples, your life will not be markedly improved. And as far as the latter goes, your parents could buy a house, go on a 2-week-long vacation and send you to college without you needing to take out any loans. I would love to see even 10% of this generation do any of those things without incurring a lifetime. No, more than a lifetime's worth of debt. Now guess what? Every leader America has had for the past few decades has claimed to have, or more accurately intended, to make things better. Looking at most metrics in America today, however, seems to negate all of their intentions. Depression is up, as the increasing rates of antidepressants would suggest. Obesity, and therefore diabetes, and heart problems are also up. It feels as if not going to school in America is as promising as going to school in America. College doesn't seem to be the best route to take today, as not only are so many of the degrees offered today wouldn't even pay a living wage in the strongest of economies, but the debt incurred to attain those degrees only guarantees one's legacy will most likely be the loans of which they will be survived by, instead of the family of which they will be survived by. Walmart offers up to $2,000 loans for food, which lines up perfectly with what is defined as immoral legality by the Regaining American Democracy Dictionary. America is becoming a country where we all sell our junk to one another through YouTube, Facebook, Amazon, or some other platform that siphons another few dollars from our pockets. America is a country where billions of dollars are sent overseas for someone else's war, while our own citizens languish in ever-increasing homelessness. Or more accurately, homelessness, a housing system in which banks and investors drive the cost of owning a home out of range for a majority of the newest generation, only then to have police kick them out of the tent cities they form, and the list goes on. The trends almost exclusively point downward, but our leaders' intentions were always meant to make life better. Even in instances with leaders like Pelosi and McConnell, who have been in office for decades overseeing America's decline, the implication was that their intentions were to seek out the best outcomes for the public. So let's not trust their intentions. Let's not believe they're going to do what's best for us or the country until their actions result in changes that improve the majority of people's lives. Let your leader point to one thing they've done that has in fact made life better for 50% or more of those they represent. Give them 2 terms, no matter how many terms they are allowed to serve, and then get them out and never vote for them again. And let's stop voting for those who raise the most money during their campaigns. That only means they're beholden to those donors who gave them the most money. If you like the videos here and would like to see more, let your friends and family know about this website of Mike's Sons Entertainment on YouTube. There are plenty of blogs, news, and websites reporting and complaining about our leaders and their failures. How many, however, are offering or even pointing to any solutions? The book Solutions. Enough complaining. Let's Fix America by Chris Osman does, and it can be found on Amazon or at www.mikesonsentertainment.com. To find out other ways you're being screwed by your current leaders, check out the posts on this blog daily. Learn about the biggest and worst issues that America and its people face today. You can also check into this blog daily to hear about those issues that America and its people will face in the near and distant future. If, however, you would like to discover possible solutions to either mitigate the worst impacts of these issues or solutions to avoid them altogether, keep listening. The problems we face are not as complicated as so many leaders and news reports claim. They are man-made and are only claimed as complicated so those who are responsible can maintain control. For example, there is a persistent argument that moving government is like turning a cruise ship around. It is supposedly a long process that can only be achieved incrementally. While this may be true for laws and policies that benefit the majority of Americans, it does not seem to be so for that smallest of American minorities. When one examines the policies and laws that benefit that minority known as the elite or the rich, the speed at which those laws are passed is exponentially faster. While most of us sit on the deck chairs waiting for the Titanic to avoid the myriad of icebergs of which we seem to continually run afoul, the elite ride comfortably in speedboats. If, according to the Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal, why do the rich live quite different lives than the rest of us? Where is our speedboat? In 2018, Chris Osman wrote a book highlighting the problems humanity would face if more power, wealth, and control were funneled to a small group of individuals, groups, or organizations. In that book, Mr. Osman provides solutions, offered up from himself and others, to the inevitable problems we would all face. In it, he also provided a means for the public to analyze, compare, and contrast the words and deeds of those we've chosen to follow against our real-world experiences. To this end, Mr. Osman provides the means for readers to disseminate information as provided by their news sources of choice, their elected officials, and any other authority they choose to follow. The book, titled Solutions, Enough Complaining, Let's Fix America, offers a means to hold leaders up, not just to a higher standard than is currently accepted, but to one that will improve lives. The devil is in the details. Click the link below and get your copy of Solutions today.